That was kind of a big one. Burt Bear last night on Early Edition. There was no setback for Christian Gonzalez. It's the same injury that he suffered day one. And a couple of the things stand out, but that last part, the dynamic of a player who's about to be very, very wealthy. That's got to be in the back of everyone's minds. Who's got a thought, Murray?
Yeah, I think this was kind of what we were maybe assuming in that, all right, you can't mess with the contract and hold out now, but he can take his sweet-ass time to make sure he's in tip-top shape and feeling 100% that he does come back and ball out and show that he is, worthy of getting some sort of big payday next year. I think that's what was probably going on here, especially if there was no setback.
I mean, given what happened with Sauce Gardner last year, how do you not connect it? Like, that he wouldn't dig in and make tackles and risk injuring himself because he wanted to get paid at the end of his third season. And as it relates to that, look, it's got to be a factor somehow, somewhere. And the way that Burt said it, I never thought of it in this way, but it's a good way to look at it. The owners wanted it in the CBA that you couldn't extend your contract before the end of the third year. That's what they wanted. Well, now the players are playing by the rules.
This is where I was going to go. The owners have asked for this.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I and it never crossed my mind until Burt said it.
In the effort to save themselves money, they've cost themselves quality football players.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like this thing that they did with the holdouts. That if you hold out, you're automatically fined, and the teams can't forgive the fine money because they got sick of some teams having a player hold out, fine that player under the terms of the CBA, and then when that player finally re-signs, they forgive all the fine money. And the owners didn't like some owners forgiving that, so they said that you can no longer do that. If you get fined for holding out, you have to pay the fine. So what the players said was, okay, fine, I'll show up. Oh, my back hurts. And now I'm going to malinger and lounge around the building, but not practice or not play. But you can't fine me. The owners walked right into that one. And now the owners have walked right into this one. They didn't like teams renegotiating on rookie players too early. So they said, you know what? To save ourselves money and to save ourselves from some of our members who are renegotiating rookie contracts after 1 or 2 years, now you can't do it till after the third. How have the players responded? In the third year? Well, I'm going to take my time. You can't pay me? Well, that doesn't mean I got to play and my hamstring hurt. Like, the owners, in the effort to save themselves money, have once again cost themselves.
I mean, you can see totally how that went down in the labor negotiation. The owners sit there and say, okay, but listen, when we draft a guy, we don't want to hear anything about a new contract until after year 3 at least. You got to give us 3 years before we want to, we'll even bring it up. You don't get it until at least 3 years. Okay, that's what you want.
Yep.
So now, no, really, that is
yes, the owners, but biting their nose to spite their face.
Right. So they create a different problem for themselves
because they just don't want to pay the freight.
And there's a pattern of behavior on the part of the players. Again, you just look at Sauce Gardner and now Christian Gonzalez. Okay, fine, then we're going to take our time.
Or play a certain way. You're making a business decision. I'm making a business decision.
Exactly.
So that still doesn't reflect well on Christian Gonzalez, I got to tell you. There's 2 ways to go do it. One is to prove that you're tough and dedicated and will do anything for the team, and that's how I'm going to prove myself, by being that guy. And then you can do it by just putting out good tape and making sure that when you're playing, you're 1,000% and 100% healthy. So you put out the good tape. That's how the one he's obviously doing. But I'm surprised if this is true. I mean, I was just under the understanding he pulled the hamstring, suffered a setback. So it was pulled the hamstring. They thought he'd be back inside of 4 weeks. Ramps back up, suffers a setback. Now it's another 4 weeks, and he's on track for week 5. Like, I just thought it was as simple as that. So this would really surprise me. And not to out Burt on his sources or anything, but, you have to think this comes from the team because it doesn't make Christian Gonzalez look good. There's been no setback, which almost makes it look worse, says Burt. So I don't think Christian Gonzalez's side is running to a media guy to say, yeah, no, he didn't suffer a setback. It's been the same one, yeah. Huh? And that almost makes it worse. No, that's team tinted, team slanted. They thought he'd be ready in week 1. Then they get to week 1, and they thought he'd be ready week 4. If he's not ready week 4, what does that say? There's a lot of moving parts to this thing. What are the moving parts? There's no ill will, but building frustration. Yeah, okay. That's the one part of the report that I don't think Bert got right. I think there's obviously ill will, or you can choose a different word if you want. Frustration, ill will, they're at odds. Yeah, I'm sure the team's not happy with Christian Gonzalez, and I would not be surprised one bit if the feeling weren't mutual.
Just given the tone of Mike Vrabel when he's talked about it in the last couple of weeks, you can tell he's pissed.
And the dynamic, again, that whole thing about players of a certain age on the verge of becoming very, very wealthy, that's in the back of everyone's minds. The contract is a part of it, or the team believes it. So the team believes he was going to be ready by week 1, never mind week 4. The team believes the contract's in the back of his mind. The team believes that he never had a setback. It was all just one injury from day one. And you're telling me the team, there's no ill will on the part of the team? What are you, nuts? Of course. Ill will's looking at this going, what's up with this guy? And who knows how the player himself is feeling. So, yeah, bad deal for the team all the way around. What did Mike Vrabel have to say about this? How about number 1 today? There were some microphone problems down there, so I don't know the quality of the sound, what it's going to be. But here's Vrabel number 1 on the situation.
Do you anticipate being able to ramp up Christian Gonzalez this week in hopes of him possibly playing Saturday?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Excited about his efforts and willingness to get back and work hard and practice last week. And then again, made a decision. I made a decision at the end of the week that I think we needed a little bit more time. And that's what happens when you start this return to play and you practice and you work hard, and then you see how you respond, and then to make a decision if you're, if that player's, ready for a football game. And we felt like that he probably needed a little bit more time, and hopefully he'll be ready to go. Excited to see him and everybody else practice today.
Okay, the plan is to ramp him up to play on Sunday. Vrabel says he made the decision to hold him back last week, that he worked hard to get back onto the field last week, and Vrabel stepped in and made the decision not to play him. So I think today Vrabel got his back.
Yeah, definitely.
Meaning Vrabel got Christian Gonzalez's back.
Mm-hmm.
So if he doesn't play this week, I can't guarantee Vrabel's going to get his back again. Feels like this is it.
I'm starting to connect some of the stuff Bert said with some of the stuff Vrabel said.
Go ahead.
Okay, but the listeners may not have heard the other comment that Vrabel made.
Oh, okay.
So I'll hold on to that thought for a minute.
All right, this is Mazz's point. Then what did we hear today, Mazz?
We heard a more earnest defense of Christian Gonzalez.
I held him back.
Right. Right.
Vrabel said, I'm the one that made the decision to hold him back.
Correct.
Which takes it off of Gonzalez's plate, which is more of, if not full-throated, is closer to what Bert's talking about.
Yeah, and also even before that said, he's been working hard, he's been doing this, he's been doing that. He said all of that stuff. And so Bert made those comments last night, then Vrabel says that today. So to me, they clearly heard it, and that's what I think. And now Vrabel's being careful to say what he's saying. I wonder if Gonzalez wanted to play last week, and then Vrabel ultimately said no.
I'd be surprised if that were the case.
Okay.
But then again, I don't know what's going on. I just have my assumptions. I think Gonzalez has been making business decisions, and I do think he suffered a setback. Or in his mind, if you asked him in his camp, true serum, off the record, do you think they'd say, what do you think they would say?
He wasn't feeling right in the middle and he backed off.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
They would say he suffered a setback. So again, I have no idea what the hell's going on. All I know is something's going on, because this is obvious. I just don't know where it is.